Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 6 of season 4 of the Umbrella Academy. This is not only the final episode of the season, but the final episode of the show. This season has, let's just say, been about as unfocused as our team typically is. We got a lot of balls up in the air, and I'm wondering how they're going to catch them all and bring everything home into a close and a nice, concise little ending for this series, considering where everything is where we left off. But I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that they land this plane. That all said, let's go ahead and find out what happens next. So let's jump into this. If you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you come here on the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind the scenes footage to try to make it worth your while since you are going out of your way to support the channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. So please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. With that all said and out of the way, let's hop into episode 6, End of the Beginning. Here we go. This is a signal for anybody with their within their organization to call to action. It looks like it. Wow. Yep. All right, let's go. Oh, now they're just congregating here.
Non-believers will try to break through our lines and stop the cleanse. We cannot let that happen. Are you with us?
Are you with us? The old granny in the front there waving the gun around.
We find a target. What are your instructions?
No one takes a shot unless I give the order. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Against my
Okay.
better judgment, we'll try it your way. How do you want to proceed?
I think we should talk to Jean and Jean.
Lunatics? Waste of time, if you ask me.
Might be a way to negotiate with them, and at the very least, it could buy us some time to get Ben and Jennifer out of there before they become the cleanse.
Man, we gave him hell back there, didn't we?
It's like the good old days, huh?
And better than the old days. Man, we took on the CIA and won, my friend.
Yeah.
So ashamed I even wanted to work there. It's like I've been sleepwalking through my own life. Meanwhile, I'm married to the hottest, smartest, most psychotic chick on the planet.
I'm an aging stripper, living alone in a condemned building.
Oh, whoa, hey, when I was playing secret agent, who sniffed out a global conspiracy?
And Five couldn't even do that. He's been working there for years.
That's a very good point.
Big fat win. No one can take that away from you.
Aw.
Here, look what I got you. Take your shoes off.
Oh, it's got a little bit of blood. Don't worry about that.
Ignore the blood. It's normal.
What do you want?
The boy and his girlfriend.
Go ahead and get him. But first, you need permission from every man and woman here.
This was a waste of time. We should shoot every last one of them.
You're not helping.
Typical.
Excuse me?
Every word out of your mouth is a perfect little pearl, right? Not to be questioned because you think you know best. Such a man's perspective.
I am there.
What?
As are you.
Why don't you two toddle on?
What
off
is
to where
going
you
on?
came
Like, I
from?
need to know.
Forget even
like, her
entertaining somebody else's
motivations.
opinion or respecting their wishes.
What are you prattling on about?
Can we please get back to my brother?
We're not giving him up.
And you never listen. But I've got your attention now. You're doing things my way from here on out.
What is... Not even trying to maintain the cover now? Or did you just forget? Oh. Oh, what the hell?
That was weird.
For once, my boy, we are in complete agreement.
What the hell was that?
That was an unsuccessful attempt to thwart our plans.
What is this god-awful song you keep whistling, Jean? You don't even like that song. They got teed and left.
Stop talking, June.
Don't you talk to me like that. I brought you into this work.
You're upsetting our followers.
I taught you the truth about the clans.
Okay,
Just be some sniveling little mama's boy. Trying to finish
what?
his dissertation.
Oh! What in the world?
The cleanse is bigger than love, my compatriots. It's bigger than all of us.
She started the movement.
There's a difference between starting something and having the spine to see it through, B, no matter the cost. Jean got cold feet. Anybody else's feet feeling chilly? Good. Might want to give that a light sharpening.
I got a little resistance when I went through her stomach.
Thing looks normal.
Oh, well, they're finally back. Still would like some answers about the future him that wrote that book.
What are you scared of?
That they won't love me like they did before.
I mean, for them, it's just been like, what, a day? Maybe not even that?
You're back.
We are.
Good. Yeah, I was starting to get worried.
This is weird, man.
What?
Oh, I don't know. I missed you.
No.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't I?
I can't remember the last time you said that.
That's gonna change. A lot of things are gonna change now.
Mommy's home!
You can let go of me now, Mommy.
You're killing me. Well, finally.
Allison and Claire Bear had to dig me out of the grave of a dead greyhound. Is anyone hungry? My God, I could eat a horse.
We're just gonna brush right over that.
I'm gonna go in.
Don't be ridiculous. Even with your powers, you'd be overwhelmed by the sheer number of those extremists.
That was one lesser than
Sure about that?
Who? Husband gutted her like a trout.
Some people just aren't cut out for marriage. You see?
Yeah, about that, right?
I gave you an opportunity to resolve this issue. You failed. Now we do it my way.
Jean was right. You do always think you know what's best.
You have 15 minutes, but I fail to see how you intend to breach that mob.
I need to borrow a tire iron and a Sharpie.
Wait, what? What?
Hey, whoa, hey, who the
Whoa, hold on a second.
Oh. Oh, nice.
You're late.
My truck broke down, so I had to hoof it the last couple miles.
Grab a spot.
I gotta take a piss first. Any chance I could use the can inside?
And inside. No. Gene and Jean said nobody goes inside.
I'll just use the alley.
Not bad, not bad. Good thing you went to the side of the building where they weren't able to see the fact that you already tried to negotiate.
Like I said, nobody goes inside, asshole.
Oh my God. Can't Victor fly too, though? I thought he could.
Victor, what are you doing here?
What the hell?
You need to come with me.
I'm not leaving Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you, okay? Both of you. I need you to listen to me.
We don't need your help.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. What's happening to me?
Ooh, that's gnarly.
What's with you? We've barely said a word, Five. When does that ever happen?
It's called thinking, Luthor. You should try it sometime.
Hey.
Whoa, I'm called for.
Rude.
I do think. I think you're an asshole.
No, Grandpa's not had his nap.
Can we just not do this right now?
No, you know what? Let's do it right now.
Oh
We all
no.
struck out.
Oh
There's nothing better to
no.
Five, it's gonna be okay.
do. It's not gonna be okay.
Don't talk to my wife like that, man. Not around here. Not during Christmas.
You gonna do something about it, fuckface?
Whoa,
Hey, both of you need to stop, okay?
What's that?
What's what?
Oh, the
That thing
bracelet.
on your wrist. You hate bracelets.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I gave you one for Valentine's Day. You traded it for a Dyson vacuum. Did you give her this bracelet?
Awkward.
Answer the question, Five.
I made it.
For her.
Well, I sure as hell didn't make it for you.
Yeah, understandable reaction right now, man.
Is there something going on between you two?
Diego.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. What? I didn't see that one coming.
Holy
The Umbrella
shit.
Academy reacts to the Umbrella Academy.
All this time, I knew you were cheating on me with...
I wasn't cheating. Not when you thought that I was.
Should we go? We should go.
We're not going anywhere.
They were just like, this is getting good. We're not leaving.
Did you S-K-R-E-W my wife?
Screw is spelled S-C-R-E-W.
Okay, you need to listen to me. All right? No matter how strange this sounds, just
Oh.
listen. Five and I, we've been lost in a subway. It's not a regular subway. It's a waypoint between alternate timelines of the same moment in time.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna buy that bullshit?
Hey, she's telling the truth, all right? We got lost. We couldn't find our way back.
We were searching for 7 years, Diego. We were moving from timeline to timeline. I never stopped trying to find a way home. But I got tired, and I had to stop running. That's when it happened.
Do you love him?
Diego, that's not...
Do you love him?
Hey, stupid grown-ups, check out the TV. Word from our sources.
No, no.
The occupants is a form
I need to resolve this.
The cleanse. It's changing both of you. Into what?
Oh, I thought he was like stuck to
But
that
I do
thing.
know that if you stay here with her, it's only gonna get worse.
I'm not leaving her, Victor.
If you don't come out with me, Dad and his tactical team will come in and they will kill you and Jennifer. And I don't want that.
I'm scared, Victor.
Me too.
I want to go home.
I think we all do. Oh, well, oh God.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Hey, quick, back down that alley so we're out of sight. Back up, you idiot. What are you doing?
I'm trying.
What? Oh my God. What is happening?
Hey,
For the love of God, shoot him.
You know, maybe you shouldn't have cheaped out on the brakes. Too many of them. Do the little blinky blinky and get us into the store. That doesn't work anymore.
We'll do it together.
No, you're not doing anything on him.
You of all people know we're gonna end up in the subway.
Hey, do not think about the past. Your family needs you. I need you.
Oh God. Hey, it worked.
What is that?
Stay where you are.
Victor, you're hurt. Come here.
I'm fine. Just don't touch Ben.
Oh no. Oh no. We need Chris Redfield. We need Leon Kennedy. Jill Valentine. Claire Redfield. We need the whole gang, man.
I can't control it. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh my gosh, he's got like little baby hands coming out of his arm.
He's pulling out the Durango. Victor, let him go.
I can save him.
Oh wait, does that mean...
We are out of time, sir.
Take the shot.
But is it too late? Oh my, oh God.
What's happening?
Oh, that is something.
Oh, shit, we gotta get that thing away from Viktor.
What if we hurt it?
Doesn't matter.
They might still be alive in there.
What?
Let's go! Over here! Over here! Come on! Woo! Yeah! That's
Oh,
right.
it sees the marigold in them.
What are you doing there, big guy? What are you doing?
Just trying to start a fight. Hey, come on, Ashface! Come on! Hey!
Oh, whoa, what the?
Klaus!
I can fly now. Oh, that hurts.
He flies now.
How you doing? Aim for the tanks.
It's just getting bigger.
I'm here.
Get away from me, you kid!
We almost got killed over there.
Stay away from my wife!
Now is not the time, guys. Oh,
You know, I've really had about enough of this shit.
My turn.
oh God.
What are you waiting for? It's Ben. Not anymore.
So watch out!
Oh my God.
This is such a mess.
That's it!
Oh, yo.
Pick on someone your own size, you giant piece of shit.
Maybe we don't need to be making contact with it, though, because that could just make it worse. And now you're stuck.
Let's do this. Stop fighting each other when we're about to be killed.
I want to fucking kill him.
It's over, Five. Shit.
Oh my lord. We got a whole-on kaiju thing happening here, man.
Is she still breathing?
We gotta get the hell out of here and figure out how to kill that thing.
Oh, is he gonna go back to the subway and then I was gonna say go back and then leave the book for himself, but then who wrote it?
Why did I wait to take the shot?
You grew a heart finally.
Because maybe you are a good man after all.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
I ended the world. And that's a good thing, my love.
You did this?
You left me no choice.
But why?
Dying was my penance for creating something so deadly.
Oh, is she trying to undo the world he created?
Wasn't it enough to see our world destroyed? Why would you lose it on this one?
Because I was so lonely without you.
Oh.
I didn't ask to be brought back to life.
That was an act of love.
No, it was hubris. Your actions had consequences far greater than anything you could imagine. And it was my duty to set it right.
It was you who thwarted all my plans to keep Ben and Jennifer apart. I was wrong, and you made it right. Well done, my love. Well done.
So we just need to let this happen? Oh, wait.
Hey, wait!
Hell? What? Wait, what is this? It's just a whole cafe ran by and attended by nothing but fives. Could someone get drunk five out of here?
So, I take it you figured out the subway system by now. You'd be surprised how long it took some of the fives to figure that out. We're all you from alternate timelines. Most of us here have given up trying to fix the problem. Broken timeline, man. There's only supposed to be one. Okay, so what shattered the original timeline? Not what, who? I will give you 3 guesses to figure it out. We did! Why you always gotta wreck shit? Brisket 5? Why? By we, he means the family, my siblings? The morons, yeah. One perfect timeline, and the moment we come into existence, boom, shattered.
So then, Reggie, for releasing the marigold in the first place.
We try and save the world. How many times was it again? 145,412.
Jesus Christ!
It's like Rain Man, that one. He loves them. Oh, by the way, check out the artwork. It's all the different ways we made our universe go kaboom.
Oh, wow.
We need to fix this. Oh, trust me, we've tried. That's why one of us created the commission. He wanted to undo all the broken timelines, get back to the one and only. But that always fails because a family is the problem. We're doomed to save or destroy the world over and over again ad infinitum.
So I guess he found one of their journals then, one of the infinite fives. So not necessarily a future version of himself, just an alternate version of himself. So everything was just a design by Reggie to eventually bring her back. And she just wants to be left. So she's ending it to undo what he did.
Why'd you come back, buddy? Things are pretty bleak here.
Fortunately, I had a long and eye-opening conversation with myself. We're the reason that this
literally
happened. The marigold that infected our mothers, bringing forth our births, it shattered the timeline, and it broke it into an infinite number of alternate timelines. The timelines are bleeding into each other. We need to go back to the original timeline before any of the other ones were created.
Am I the only one who's very, very, very confused?
Nope.
That's what Ben was trying to show me. Back at the department store when I was trying to pull the Durango from his body, I had a vision.
Oh.
I think he was trying to tell me something. That the cleanse isn't a bad thing.
We need to let the marigold in our bodies merge with the Durango inside the cleanse.
Are you okay? And then what happens to us?
No more
we
us.
Cease to exist.
Old Klaus might have been down for some recreational harakiri, but it turns out that I'm really not into killing myself. So, count me out.
Actually, it's not killing ourselves. It's worse than that. We'll be erased from history.
Okay, well, what about the other timelines?
They'll be
We will
gone.
never have existed. None of us will. No one will have any memory of this. Or us.
That also means they have to sacrifice their children. And Claire.
Why don't you take the family to that crazy subway of yours?
Well, she can't do that.
I'm not talking to you, Five.
Hey, all the marigold needs to be destroyed, Diego. If Lila isn't here when the cleanse comes, it just restarts.
Yeah, well, good thing it's her decision, isn't it?
Steve, no, you have to go with Lila, okay? No, I'd rather die here with you than not remember you. No. Claire, I need you to live and experience all of the amazing things that this world has to offer you, okay? Forget you, Mom. No.
Well, I mean, you won't exist, but...
I will always be a part of you. You will always be my beautiful, smart girl.
I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but if Five is right, you leaving is not a good thing.
He's right. You can't go.
Watch me.
Lila.
Okay, come on, everyone. Stand around me. Okay?
Come together.
You'll be back.
Don't try to stop me.
Lila, please.
I can't just leave them here. What if they don't make it?
Then they don't make it. If you go with him, then this whole thing starts over.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry.
Knock her out. Or is she gonna come to her senses and step off?
I'm sorry, guys. If I'd have known we were gonna die here, I would have cleaned up.
Well, at least the laundry's clean.
Actually, it's not.
The kids.
Yeah, they're safe. And Claire.
I think they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe we should go around the circle and, you know, share our favorite moments together.
Ew, barf. Let's not do that.
It's a really bad idea.
Yeah, it's
That's
terrible.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of sweet.
Okay, so what do we do?
Just power up, I guess.
Question, considering there are multiple timelines as a result of the marigold, would it need to absorb the marigold from every timeline as well, or just one set of Umbrella Academy members, or the original set?
I see you. I finally see you.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I know.
Ugh.
Five.
Don't fight it. Let it take you. Just let it go.
Thank you for letting me be in your weird family.
Oh, God, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Just glad we're all together in the end.
No.
No more legs and eggs, eh?
Maybe we'll see each other again.
That would be nice. You know, I just want to say, I love you guys. But you are all assholes.
Oh. And there they go.
Children behave. That's what they say when we're together.
Oh, that's who was here in this field. What in the world? Aww. Aww. Holy shit. Huh. It's like a refuge for everyone that's been just lost in their devastation.
August 2024. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary occurred. You might say it was just a normal day.
Oh, wait. Is that it? Holy shit, that's it. Aww. Oh, this is cute. I don't know if there's anything at the end. I don't know why there would be, but I'm gonna let it keep playing. Oh! Almost spoke too soon. Oh, aww. Aw, that's sad. They're there as these little flowers. Aw. I've got a lot of mixed feelings on not just the finale, but the season as a whole, you know? There was a lot of elements that I feel like didn't get fleshed out nearly enough. I think given where they left off and the trajectory they needed to get to close everything into a circle, they did an okay job at doing that. You know, it did manage to tie everything back around to the very beginning of the series, tie all these different things together, where it connects the release of the Marigold, their birth, to the conclusion and wrap up because of this. Because this whole thing was set off by Reggie to manifest and manipulate time to bring back Abigail, which he eventually succeeded in through multiple timelines and iterations or whatever. And then just the fact that simply the existence of Marigold being released into the wild created these branches to begin with. And this Durango was like a response from the universe to bring that into balance and into check. And it was just them really just trying to like hold off and fight that at every step of the way. This was just going to be an endless, vicious cycle that they were all trapped in for all eternity. Endless cycles of death, destruction, and the world being born and ended over and over and over and over again as long as they exist. In order to save the world, they had to not. They had to just not. They had to let it play out and be taken by this thing, removing them from existence. So there is a case, I guess, if they were able to take the train to the prime timeline, if the subway station connected even to that, I guess the family could have made it there to where they could just be on that timeline while all the others are erased. If they never existed, they wouldn't have been born. The children, at least. The families, the parents, and all that kind of stuff, they would still be around. But the kids, their offspring, Claire, and, you know, Lila's kids and all them, they wouldn't exist. And with the undoing of the Umbrella Academy's conception, you know, removing them from the timeline altogether, you can see here in this final moment, not just with their families being able to take refuge in this timeline, but everybody we kind of lost along the way, villains and allies alike, are just here as well. As we know, half of them got recruited by the Commission or was affected by that. We know that was founded by Five. So, like, the removal of the Umbrella Academy from these people's lives throughout all time allows them to actually just be normal people and live on. It's a very bittersweet ending, because while their families get to survive and exist, they didn't get to get deleted from time, though still a little shaky on how that works necessarily, but I'm willing to forgive it because this show's never been the most logical when it came to the time travel elements of it. I don't know, it's bittersweet in the end, you know, we get this happy ending-ish, but our gang doesn't get to survive or get to see it. However, their essence does live on. Their sacrifice will be remembered in the echoes of these flowers that are bloomed beneath this tree. And kind of looking back, it almost reminded me of Naruto in the moment, because the Biju, the tailed beasts, are these creatures that are technically segments of this divine tree, you know, and when they recombine, they become this tree-like entity. So, like, it's reminded me of that. They reunited, they sacrificed themselves, Ben and Jennifer, this Durango, combined and morphed them into this planetary universal timeline reset button, and they just needed to be absorbed into it. And, you know, he had those tentacles, there was those roots sprouting around that was kind of peeling off of them, and they became this kind of living monstrosity that did kind of have some tree-like elements to it. And then I'm wondering, though, in this park, where this tree is, where those flowers bloomed, where everybody's hanging out, if this is actually where the Academy was. Because that's where they were in the final moments, where they all sacrificed themselves, where they all kind of got cocooned and absorbed and rooted by this thing. Are they quite literally this tree? That would be very beautiful. I think that is the implication. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could read into that. I just like that in general, because if this is the site of the Umbrella Academy, and in this timeline, obviously it doesn't exist, they are still here, and a tree that grows out of this location creates this canopy and is in and of itself an umbrella. And this place is this little serene, beautiful park where everybody just kind of congregates under their protection. I don't know. I think that there's these little elements like that that just sing. And then on top of all of that, there is this underlying theme of, you know, accepting change. While it doesn't play a part in everybody's story, because let's be real, Luthor's story throughout this entire season, he was just stagnant. I mean, he was just kind of a reactionary player with everything that's going on. You know, he was the same at the beginning of this as he was at the end of it. Same with Allison, same with Klaus, other than the fact that he just kind of went back to being the Klaus we were familiar with before, who already had an inconsistent storyline throughout these seasons. Those three characters really didn't have an arc this season, which is one of the reasons why I was a little kind of hung up on everything for the most part. But in general, with everybody else, there's acceptance of change. We see that in Reggie's storyline. We see that in Diego's storyline. We see that in Lila's storyline. We see it in Five's storyline. We see it in like these different little echoes. You know, this all started because Reggie was unwilling to move on from the passing of his wife. He chastises everybody else for their human connections, their feelings, and these like attachments and all that, when that's what he's been doing this entire time. It's just the hypocrisy of his character shines through, and I think that just makes him more human than he's ever been willing to admit. And finally, Viktor was able to kind of prey upon that a little bit here and call into that. You know, when we get this little moment where he sits down when it's just too late, they failed, and Abigail sits down. It's like, it looks like there was a good man in there somewhere after all. You know, she had never asked to be brought back. Much like with Klaus. Actually, you could parallel Klaus's storyline with her. He didn't want to go back to the life he had. He didn't want to be that Klaus anymore. He knew that once those specters come back, once his powers came back, he would have to go back down his rabbit hole and drown himself to tune all of that out. Even though we didn't really see the effects of that here, and again, I'll call back to it, in a previous season, he got control of that. He could dispel the specters and the voices and all this kind of stuff. He was able to control this, and then they just forgot about that in the next season. Anyway, that's a whole other tangent. But you could like parallel that with Abigail. Like, she was fine with it, you know, and he had become content with change in where he was in life. And, you know, they had resigned themselves to that fate, and they were upset with being brought back. I kind of like that, actually. That's something I'm just kind of working out right now as I'm talking about it, because I think it just shows like the damage that can be wrought from trying to hold on to something that's been lost, or trying to keep things from changing and adapting and just staying locked into what was. It can be very self-destructive, and sometimes that can bleed out into the people around you, or in this scenario, the world. Reggie wasn't able to let go. Five is never able to accept the fact that these apocalypses are going to happen. His hero complex just kicks in. He's just like, no, we got to survive. It's this fight or flight, and he's just challenging it every step away. And his storyline at the end of this was just, we just got to accept it. I just got to stop fighting. All of his other fives figured that out as well. And I guess that's another thing too, is like all the other fives, it didn't matter that they stopped. That five needed to stop and needed to be absorbed. Again, I guess that just, the implication is they are the prime Umbrella Academy. They needed to have their marigold. Again, another plot hole. There are 35 other children that were born with marigold that did not get addressed at all ever in this series. Reggie was only able to claim 7 of them. He didn't get Lila, and she's here on the team, and she's needed for all of this. But like, there's 35 other kids in the world that were born from him releasing the marigold. Yet this thing only needed to absorb the Umbrella Academy? What's that about? Anyway, Lila, you know, her state of being, like, her entire story's been changed from like learning about her past, the truth of being brought in under the handler and all this kind of stuff of the commission, and then realizing that she's been manipulated and used, and her entire storyline has been changed. Much like with Diego, she gets very restless. I mean, hell, she and Five have more in common than anybody else on the team, and we see he's always moving. It makes sense that she would get a little restless, and on top of that, she's also being neglected because Diego, from season 1 to now, is so focused on what he can bring to the table as opposed to, you know, what's going on around him. His eye's always out there. He's never in the moment. He's always thinking about what more he can do, what other things are around the corner. He's always aspiring to something else and neglecting everything around him, his relationships, whatever, the here and now, and his own family. And that was his realization here when she left, once this whole thing came out between her and Five, and he had to overcome all of that. Viktor standing up for himself and laying into Reggie, finally being able to show the trajectory that's been set up from season 1 till now, and you know, that strength, that confidence, that being comfortable in one's skin as who they are, you know, inside and out, and being able to finally get a little bit of acknowledgement, maybe not from their Reggie, but from a Reggie. Maybe that other Reggie was wrong, and I think you deserve to wear that uniform more than anybody else. There's a lot of really great moments in this, and again, the character interactions between the family members, the actors are all phenomenal and do their best with what's going on here. It's just the structure of the season, and again, this comes back to whether or not I just wonder if this was like a mandate from Netflix. If we're going to give you a final season, it can only be 6 episodes, no more, no less, or did they think this is the amount that they needed? Like, I'm just wondering whichever it is. Like, if they were allotted this time, like, whatever. I think they still could have, like, maneuvered this a little bit more cohesively, because there's a lot of storylines that just did not connect in the way that they needed to get this story fleshed out. And there's so many unanswered questions. Like, how did Jennifer end up in the squid? Like, how did the Durango get into her? Was she born in the same way as the rest of the Umbrella Academy, but just with Durango instead of Marigold? Did she actually have a human mother, or was she born out of the squid? And then if that is the case too, then what about the original timeline when Reggie already had her locked up? Like, where did she come from? I don't know. There's a lot of weird questions that I got like that. Because otherwise, like, there could have been God knows how many other Durango children out there in the world if it reacted the same way as the Marigold. Never really learned about Reggie and where they are from. You know, there's just so many unanswered questions and plot holes in this season. It's hard to ignore, but the charm of the actors, and when they're just smiling, when they're just having fun and all that kind of stuff, it's easy to get lost into that. But I also can't ignore the issues that are very blatantly here. For having 6 episodes, not all of their time was properly utilized, in my opinion, to make sure that this conclusion was satisfactory. It still was emotional, putting them all together in the same room, and you know, these little confessions, little moments that they shared together, you know, it pulls at the heartstrings. There's a lot of moments throughout the season that really, really worked. You know, I did look between recording the last episode and this one. Apparently, the comics aren't even finished yet. The last volume is still set in the Sparrow Academy arc, which is interesting, which means this show got ahead of the source material. I mean, Gerard Way was still involved in this, so I'm wondering, like, if this is like a Game of Thrones situation, if this was the intended direction that is eventually going to come out whenever the final volume does release. So I don't know. I'm curious about that, because I do want to read the comics and compare them and just kind of see how that vibes out. Because again, I love this world. I love these characters. It's not the worst finale I've ever seen. It's not the worst final season I've ever seen. I still think it's overall, it's okay. It's Netflix. At least they got an ending. You know, they outright could have just dropped it and we never got an answer. I'm going to take the blessing that we did at least get to see this series end. So I'm not going to be too burned by how this went, because it's no fucking Buffy. Jesus. All these actors, I'm excited to see what they move on to, what they do next. And I think that'll be pretty exciting, because everybody in this show is just spectacular. They're all so good at what they do. I will say though, I still do not like the Lila and Five storyline, and it's not that they did all of that in one episode or anything like that. That's perfectly fine. As much as I would have liked to have seen them go through some of the different timelines that gave them some trouble before they finally settled down on a peaceful one, I thought that would have been cool. I'm not going to linger on that too much. It's just like the overall story of it just feels weird. As much as, like, I do think that had they never set up Diego and Lila as a thing, I do think that Five and her would make a really good couple. They are very similar, and sometimes that could bode well for a relationship or not, but it makes sense. Like, they both have a similar line of work, a similar personality, and they do really work well together even when they don't like working together. And I get that you've been together for 7 years. You got needs, you got feelings, you got only one other person around you that you can even lean on. Things are going to happen. But once things kind of get down to it, Five does what Five does in an apocalypse setting. He gets really attached. Instead of a mannequin this time, though, he actually has a person. It's just his brother's wife. And it's another thing, too, that, like, once you've resigned yourself to this fate, that's a little more understandable. You know, if there is no way back, you know, you settle in, you would kind of try to accept where you currently are and what you have. And even if that is, you know, somebody that has a relationship to somebody else close to you, a family member even, and, you know, feelings happen, things happen, whatever. It's 7 years. Something's going to happen out of that, especially when you've lost hope and that's the only person around. You'll seek comfort where you find it. But once that hope was found and then they could return, he tried to manipulate the situation for himself. And then he tries to put himself on a pedestal above Diego, above the father of her children, who she loves. What has he got to offer you that I can't? It becomes no longer a survival mechanism or a coping mechanism. It's just he's trying to, like, outplay his brother now. Totally weird. And then they just straight up fisticuff at the end. I was like, that's not only just bro code violation, that is brother code violation right there, man. Because had Diego and her never got together and had this family and all this kind of stuff, I would totally be fine with them having been set up as a thing, or at least flirted around with the idea of it. Here, it just feels like unnecessary padding, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really set much up except removes her. I mean, not even really. Like, Diego got his character arc without her around. He got it through the CIA by doing that. So, like, that whole storyline made perfect sense because they were moving the plot forward. They were investigating the main purpose, the main thing going on, the Keepers. And while Five and her were doing the very same on the other side of it, them falling for each other and being lost, I don't think added a lot. Comes off like padding and drama for drama's sake. See, it's weird. Like, there's elements like that where, you know, we had a lot of things that were rushed and then some things that just felt like we were just drawing out elements. It's like this could have been 4 episodes and been way more streamlined than it was. It's weird, man. And I think some of those other storylines probably could have been fleshed out more and maybe even fit in more and more naturally had they been expanded upon, had we had more time. You know, it's like at the point we got right here, I feel like some of those things could have just been cut out and this would be better, or extend it and make those storylines more engaging and find ways to tie them into the narrative in an interesting way and fleshing them out by giving them more episodes. Anyway, that's just my thought on the whole thing. But even as flawed as this season was, there's still a lot of good to be had in here. There's still a lot of bright moments, and I still really enjoyed a fair amount of it. It is a great ending for these characters and this series. It's just the road there was just a little rocky. But guys, what did you think? How do you feel? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, York, Scott, Melito, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey L, Jake Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, and Russell Crockett. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.